One of the issues on the November ballot is park renovation. City residents will be asked to pay an extra 2 meals in taxes to help create a better park atmosphere for children. But the residents we talked to are a little bit squeamish about a tax increase. This classic beauty right here is a 1932 Rio Royale, one of Rio's signature cars and one of the first cars to be tested for aerodynamics. Now, Sydney told police that boy brought her here to an address on West Boston where he was staying with his aunt. Sydney eventually got free and ran into this abandoned building right here where she hid and then fled to safety. Now, had her story checked out, she could have tarnished Scotty's career, but her story changed so many times from the 911 call and the interview with police. Now, this is a 4-year felony, and prosecutors say they will push for jail time. The vessel Earth Voyager returns to Rochester for its final bon voyage as it completes its 13-city tour of the Great Lakes. The 60-foot tall vessel was built right here in Monroe County and was used to bring attention to Great Lakes pollution.
They need to do something about bringing attention to it so people will stop polluting the Great Lakes. I've always loved this area, and it's a shame that 90% of the year that you can't even swim here at Charlotte Beach.
Earth Voyager has a legacy of racing in the Great Lakes, and now we're on a race for restoration and protection.
The campaign targets 3 Great Lakes bills that will protect water quantity, clean up toxic hotspots, in which New York has 5 of the 28 areas of concern, and create rigid laws for foreign ships that discharge in a basin. They are often the ones introducing new aquatic invasive species.
The problems that plague Lake Superior plague Lake Ontario. And it doesn't matter what part of the ecosystem we're on, we're all connected and we're all facing the same problems, and we need to work together to address those.
Scientists and environmentalists estimate that it will take more than $20 billion to clean up the Great Lakes.
And from the 13 cities and a few other ports I've been in the last 3 months, I've seen a lot of raw sewage from overflows coming out some major rivers, and these issues need to be corrected.
Obviously, within the Great Lakes Basin, we still are able to use our water, but it just gives us that extra layer of protection because water isn't a renewable resource. We need to make sure that we're protecting against it leaving our basin. So
we have to stop using our Great Lakes as a lavatory.
This is Daniel Wallace, reporting for Rock Earth. The past 3 years have been one big green experiment for Ben Munson and his fiancée, Kristen Cox, who altered their lifestyles to be more green. The couple has done all sorts of energy savings things around the house, but what they're really known for is composting.
I've heard that 60 to 80% of the weight of your waste is actually biodegradable or compostable stuff by weight. So we're taking at least half of the weight of our garbage every week out, and then composting it and turning it into soil and fertilizer that we don't spend money on, chemical stuff or other kind of artificial fertilizers. So
we had a roommate who
everywhere in
lived
between
here for almost a year, and he, even at the end of it, was still having trouble composting. We're like, You really have to compost when you live in a house.
We take the recyclables out of the garbage.
One of the goals of the South Wedge couple is to have a community composting center, which they started in their own backyard, and that local coffee shops already donate to.
Yeah, it's about 2 parts of brown material to 1 part of green material, and green material would be any of this stuff, lawn clippings, coffee grounds. Brown material is like leaves in the fall, chipper shredded twigs. Things that are high in carbon are the browns. Things that are high in nitrogen are the greens. So you want to mix it at 2 brown to 1 green kind of volume ratio, and turn it every now and again, and it'll break down and turn into really, really nutrient-rich compost, which is kind of like a black, really rich, kind of almost moist soil. I noticed it with our composting thing that a couple of our friends now compost. After a year or 2 of us composting. You see it kind of spreads.
I like to think that we give back to the environment, but more than that, I just don't want to take anything from it, And so we just try to minimize our footprint and just, conserve.
This is Daniel Wallace, reporting for Rock Earth.
Didn't see the gun, didn't see the guy driving or nothing, just saw the car go by.
An unknown number of shots fired into traffic yesterday night. The shooting occurred along US 127 northbound from Ingham County to Clinton County. Police learned that 38-year-old Daniel Freshney was the shooter after responding to a series of 911 calls.
Clinton County 911. Hi, I'm on Interstate 127, just about 3 miles past the 69 exit. There was a guy chasing people, driving 100 miles an hour. He's got a gun.
While on his rampage, Freshney lost control of his vehicle and landed in a ditch just before the Chadwick overpass. Jason Kimball saw the vehicle and stopped to help.
Well, when I saw him, I just thought that he was in an accident, so I was pulling off to the shoulder. We were going to see if he needed any help or anything. And that's when he raised his shotgun and he shot at us.
This is the ditch where Kimball says he encountered Freshney face to face. Freshney's car was parked right next to those trees over there where he took shots at oncoming traffic. At his arraignment, Freshney said that he believed that the city was under invasion and had to flee with his 6-year-old son. Police found that boy in the car at the time of Freshney's arrest. Freshney apparently hadn't been taking his medication and was trying to reach a psychiatrist. He was arraigned in Clinton County on 18 felony counts, 4 counts in Ingham County for incidents in Lansing Township and East Lansing. Police are still investigating. Bond was set at $750,000. In East Lansing, Daniel Wallace, 6 News. You are On the Ladder with Dan Wallace, a weekly feature that explores some of the younger talent in Rochester's business community. Jamie Leverett always knew dance to be part of her life. She's dreamt of being a ballerina ever since childhood. Her one simple goal, to become a hit on Broadway. But at the age of 26, she fell in love with the choreography aspect of the business and cut her dance vocation short. Jamie's built her career with the Rochester City Ballet, where she now serves as the artistic director and probably the youngest in the country.
There's so many things I love about it. I love working with the dancers. I love seeing dancers take a role from just learning it to developing it to, really becoming the character on stage and seeing the growth in a dancer as they present a work.
Her favorite part of the job is infusing her own contemporary ideas with classical pieces of art.
It's kind of bringing a youthful element to a very traditional and somewhat older art form. Our piece we just did recently, our brand new piece, was called Luma Voce, and it had live vocal, and we really did a lot of experimenting with handheld lighting. So I'm trying to really experiment, branch out into contemporary dance. I also think it's really important, and something that I really love to do, is collaborate with other local artists.
Some of those pieces have been featured in New York City.
Sometimes I think maybe you have to take your product out of your small pond, get the recognition in the big pond, and then bring it back, and then people go, oh yeah, we have a ballet company.
She says she owes much of her success to Tim Draper, the ballet company's founder.
He really pushed me hard. He gave me lots of opportunities to run rehearsals, to do schedules. He put a lot of responsibility on my shoulders at a young age, which really prepared me for this job.
Here's her advice to other young professionals.
If you want to be the best, surround yourself with the best.
Students at Ronald McNair Middle School are grieving today after learning about the tragic death of their assistant principal, Dr. Dolores Tillman Coleman. Coleman was stabbed to death in her home by her 30-year-old son, Lawrence Coleman. Lawrence then took his own life. Family members say that Lawrence battled with depression for many years.
We believe that he just snapped.
Dr. Coleman had been with the Detroit educational system for nearly 30 years, and though she was quite new to Ronald McNair, her influence and popularity grew rather quickly. Principal Trevelyan pulled the kids into an assembly to explain what had happened.
We talked to them a little bit about what had occurred, and they were okay, and Dr. Burnley spoke to them, and we do have grief counselors in the building now.
Kids brought with them cards and other love tokens to express their bereavement. And though this is a lot for the family and the school to handle right now, Principal Trevelyan says that they're going to do just fine and pull together, because that's what families do. So that was just a taste of what I could bring to your station. Here's my contact information. It's 15343 Asbury Park. That's located in Detroit, Michigan, 48227. Or you can reach me by cell at 313-300-6254 or by email at stackspk@hotmail.com. Again, this is Daniel Wallace, and thank you.